Okay guys, today for this FML I'm going to do something. It's basically a throwback to my first FML video over the feminist intrusion of video gaming and why why there's such a big backlash against it. Why there is such a big backlash against it. And I'll point out probably the most retarded ones of them all. You got Anisa Sarkeesian, Riley J. Dennis. Those are the two dumbest ones. They're by far the two dumbest ones. And then, you have not exactly the downfall of BioWare, but BioWare is taking a huge hit because of Andromeda. I've talked about that in a previous video as well. It is my most famous video as well, but still. You have those three things. We will talk more about each of them as a whole. Now we're going to start with the easiest to pick on. Probably the easiest thing to pick on right now is Riley J. Dennis. Riley J. Dennis is a transsexual and a transgender. I don't really know the pronouns or whether it was a transformation from he to she. It looks like a he to she transformation because he looks like a he she. But, oh my god. The videos Dennis puts out are just incomprehensibly stupid. And it gives me cancer. And like I'm gonna go ahead and make a quote from Andy Worski. You stink. You're garbage. Don't know what the hell you're doing. Well, I don't think he said that, but he probably has. Anyway, Riley is one of the biggest, probably one of the biggest retards ever as far as the feminist video game community. And yeah, I don't know, he, she, whatever, is also buddy with Miley Stewart. I think it was Miley Stewart, the 18-year-old piece of shit that said that all white people are racist, all straight people are transphobic or something like that. And basically, yeah, I mean, you're not going to get much credibility if you associate yourself with people like that, Riley. So, we'll go ahead and delve into one of her autistic screeching videos. Well, let me look it up first. Alright. Since I didn't want to make it what I usually do is when I take a response video from that particular video talking about feminism and bullshit like that, I'm going to go straight to the source, unedited, so that way you don't have to hear another person's view on it. So, here we are, and apparently this is talking about, like, the absurdity of females in gaming culture, which is idiotic. Some of the biggest video game icons are women. I mean, Lara Croft, yet Samus Aran, Zelda. Come on, son. God, this video is gonna get me. I'm gonna get a bit of a dislike after I'm done watching it. How does it have? Oh my god. Oh, and the way she's jamming the freaking controllers is retarded. But dude, it has 643 likes and 5,000 dislikes. Oh, this is so wonderful. Wonderful.
You play video games and you're a girl?
What the fuck was that? What the fuck? The fuck? Dude, I remember when I was a kid and I heard a chick from my school was playing video games. I was like, oh my god, that is a rarity. Because I had been around dudes, my neighbors, friends. The only people I knew who played video games were dudes, so it was a rarity. And it wasn't like, oh my god, get away from me, Antichrist. No, it was like, you're an angel, may I marry you? I mean, you've seen the memes, people do it all the time. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and let Riley Dennis explain her dumbass logic. And as a Halo fan, I think she is highly disrespectful to the Halo community as well. And she probably was like, oh yay, Cortana's got a freaking suit now instead of being naked and being a slut-shamer. was cancer.
So
that wasn't any worse than the Decoded opening. I'll do a Decoded rebuttal soon, but my God, that was cancer.
The problem. I'm a really huge nerd, but I'm also a really huge feminist. Now I know that doesn't.
And quoting from Rag, Steve also made a response video about this. Feminism basically infects everything it touches. And as a kid, I didn't really know much about feminism. I knew it was big in the 60s and 70s, and like from even before then, the 1800s, like 1848. But I was into memes before memes were even memes as a kid, and somehow I got this impression that feminism was cancer. And I was right, somewhat. I mean, not first. I mean, first and second wave were really good, dude. That was cool. But first and second wave feminism, I knew were good. Third wave, though, is retarded. It's cancer, and it pisses me off. And there's just so much wrong with it. From the people disrupting men's rights activist marches or something like that, and then saying, oh, if you do Planned Parenthood, you're a sexist, even though you want to kill babies for a living and get a bunch of money off of that. So, I mean, I'm like, what the hell? And then they also promote Islam like it's the feminist apex, even though it's not. So anyway, let's continue with the cancer.
Sound like a problem. I mean, after all, they're completely unrelated things. One's about enjoying certain video games and movies and TV shows, and the other one is about creating equality.
No, feminism is not about equality even more. Even women acknowledge this. I acknowledge that feminism at one time did mean equality, but what has happened now, ever since the 1980s, and you had a bunch of anti-feminists who were women that didn't like feminism, albeit a bunch of them were Christians, but still. I mean, good God. The actions of feminists today have been borderline retarded. And I don't even know how they are able to work a computer sometimes. Because, I mean, so much has come from feminists that isn't beneficial to society at all. Like mansplaining, and yeah, you got mansplaining, you got manspreading, which they think is two very important words that everyone should be taught in school or something like that, which is stupid. And then you have the freaking AIDS epidemic thing that they were going on about. So, oh, I'm going to share my AIDS story or my HIV story with a bunch of freaking 7th graders. And I'm like, my God, you feel so dense. To top that off, a bunch of feminists now are feminazis. I mean, no wonder Gamergate happened. Because people like you, people like Anita Sarkeesian, people like Meg Trainor even. Of course, I'm not going to talk about Meg Trainor. She already has her own little spot in that Rooster Teeth video, so she can suck it. No more airtime for you, Meg Trainor.
Acceptance for all kinds of people. But unfortunately, there's been this string of anti-feminist thought going on in nerd culture, and I've tried to avoid it for a long time, but now I think it's just time I confront it head on. So look,
but you should have already done it.
I'm not calling you an asshole or a misogynist or anything like that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
Okay? I'm not here to attack you and tear you down. But if you're already discrediting my opinion because I said I'm a feminist, then we need to have this talk. Because I love nerd culture. I love that there are passionate people that can unite together around a shared love for certain things. I love smashing. I mean, playing Super Smash Bros. For hours with my friends. I used to play Halo and Call of Duty all the time. I still...
You are the biggest offense. You are the biggest just disgrace to any Halo fan and any old school Call of Duty fan whatsoever. You said you used to play Halos. That means you probably turned away when you found out Cortana's look in Halo 4 was like super hot. But then came back in Halo 5 when you find out she's the bad guy. Not only is she the bad guy, main villain thing, she also has a bodysuit. You probably applauded Fireteam Osiris for being diverse, even though I don't fault him for trying that. I mean, I like Fireteam Osiris in theory, just the writing sucked for the whole game.
geek out over Harry Potter on a daily basis. And there have definitely been times where I watched anime all night.
Harry Potter. She probably fits in great with J.K. Rowling, who doesn't even take in a single Islamist refugee, but calls England racist for not taking in any Islamist refugees.
For hours and hours.
And called out PewDiePie for being a racist, even if he wasn't.
Complex thing that can never be boiled down to one person or one train of thought.
Yes,
but it does tend to be mostly straight cisgender men.
Seriously?
By accident, nerd culture does manage to exclude women and LGBTQ plus people in a bunch of different ways.
Oh my god!
Sucks because nerd culture is supposed to be the culture.
Okay. So how many times have we heard this argument? Only geared towards straight white men most of the time. Well, guess what? Most straight white men are the people who play it most of the time. People target demographics. And Adam Ruins Everything did a video about this, and he failed miserably at it. Alright? Just because people target demographics doesn't necessarily mean that it's always geared towards men. They'll have female gamers in the male-dominated games. And mobile games don't count, and a bunch of people are trying to fit... A lot of people are trying to fit in the mobile games to actual gamers, which is the biggest douche nozzle move of all time, because it doesn't make any sense. Mobile games aren't like the hardcore AAA or indie games that people love to play. So, God, this is making me kill myself.
It's supposed to be the culture of the people who were never popular in high school, or who didn't have a lot of friends, or who were bullied for one reason or another. As a culture basically founded on being outcasts, I think it's absolutely necessary that we are as open and accepting as possible. Otherwise, nerd culture becomes just as mean and elitist as the people who bullied us in high school. If you consider yourself a nerd, all I'm asking is that you hear me out and listen with an open mind and...
No, you are an elitist. Give me your pistol ammo, jackass. But still, the way you talk, you sound like the elitist. You sound like the feminazi. You just don't get it, do you, Riley? You don't get it. Are you that dense, Riley J. Dennis? Whose name also sounds like you're dense. Just shut the fuck up with your LGBT rights BS that you're always going on about. When guess what? Gay marriage is legal. People are getting their own freaking bathrooms and such. So blah 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 blah. Oh man, this shit's bad. But anyway.
Try to imagine what it would be like if you were a woman or a part of the LGBTQ+.
Oh my God.
So here it is, 5 ways you can help nerd culture become more inclusive. Number 1, don't act like it's a miracle if a woman or a girl likes video games or other...
Okay, I agree, in 2017 it is overplayed. Now, you know, a lot of people still act surprised. But still, back in my day, back when I was getting into games big, like I had Xbox 360 when I was like 10 years old. I mean, my God, it was a miracle to find a woman that played video games. But the video game culture expanded so much, along with big gaming companies like Rooster Teeth and such, who is like sadly going SJW, rest in peace. But you can't just blame people for thinking that. I mean, some people probably just live in an exclusive community where mostly dudes play, and it'll be like a miracle to find a girl who plays it. I mean, you can't necessarily blame them. It's like finding a Muslim who is gay. That's like the biggest ironic thing. In Ireland, there is no gay people here. We stone the shit out of them.
I know that my skit in the beginning of the video was a little exaggerated, but just a little. I've actually seen people act that surprised when they find out that...
No, I bet you have, but you can't blame them. That's what you're doing. You're blaming them. God, that face.
Woman likes video games.
Yeah, the Covenant can wipe out this particular part of my history, my YouTube history, by watching this video.
Star Wars or anything like that. Even when it's intended as a compliment, it's really insulting to women. Because nerd women have been around for as long as nerd men have been around. They've just been ignored and shoved to the sidelines because...
No, they haven't. They aren't mainstream. Alright? When you're in a male-dominated thing...
Stay close, Jenkins.
women will get a lot of attention for it, but if they don't make a big deal out of it, they're not going to get that recognized. So, I mean, come on. Okay, that's enough cancer I can withhold from Miley Dennis. So,
okay, let's move.
Next we'll go to probably the second biggest cancer. Anita Sarkeesian is a retard.
Which is weird, right? I mean, look.
Andy has his own website called Feminist Frequency, which is retarded.
There. Plasma scoring? I don't know. Maybe there was an accident. You know, friendly fire or something? What do we have, Sergeant?
I love this cutscene, though.
Oh, real pretty. Friend of yours? No, we just met.
Now, I haven't gotten much into Anita Sarkeesian, so we'll make a response thing. This is basically why people hate Anita Sarkeesian. And she said some pretty stupid shit before. She complained that there's too many thin game characters all the time, and that we need to change that. Even though in more than half the situations that many hardcore game characters are put in, it's in a situation where you have to be super muscular. You have to be like the Master Chief or Captain America or Lara Croft or Superman or Batman. You have to be something like in those lines as well, in fitness. And then she also, right after Donald Trump's election, started calling out for this really, really stupid thing, basically calling for riots and such. Just because Trump won, she said that misogyny, sexism, anti-gay, anti-LGBTQ, blah 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 stuff. And she's a dumb shit. I will call her out on her dumb shit. I mean, she's probably a gamer, but she is. And even women hate her. Like, Shoe on a Head did a little skit, and she called Anita Sarkeesian a con artist. And a lot of people believe this. At least that's the stigma I've been getting. People just hate her. So when women hate women, you know shit's going down. When feminists even hate you, you know shit's going down. But there was that guy.
Sergeant, we're surrounded.
Look, it's all the radical feminists trying to take out the straight white males and the black man. Kid him, Johnson. No, he got his ass. He's on his ass. What the fuck? The anti-feminist, but not the anti-feminist, the feminist got me. Damn. Fucking feminist. Oh shit. Don't tell me there are more. The flood. Trying to imitate the guy who does the score count. Well, not the score count, the multiplayer thing and all the Halos. Shit. So anyway, we'll get into this retarded. Well, we'll get into this response video. The Gamer from Mars. That sounds pretty interesting, actually.
If you've been on the internet for any amount of time, the name Anita Sarkeesian probably rings a bell.
Yeah.
But whether or not you have an opinion about her is a completely other story. So a while back, I decided I wanted to make a companion video series, with one video talking about reasons people like her, and another one talking about why some people dislike her. So today, let's talk about 5 reasons people dislike Anita Sarkeesian.
It's hard to find any way to like her.
When making a series that is going to be extremely critical of video games that have a loyal fan base, you really have to make sure that you have all your information double checked.
Oh shit.
This is even more the case with Anita Sarkeesian, who was given over $150,000 to hopefully create a factual series.
Holy
But she
crap.
unfortunately failed on a few occasions. Probably the worst case of this is when the YouTube series covered the video game Hitman Absolution.
What?
Where she claims that in one of the game's levels you are encouraged to kill 2 female dancers.
Oh my god.
Around as if they were simply objects. The problem is that the game actually docks you points for killing them, and rather you're supposed to sneak around without being seen. While many can argue that having the ability at all to kill them is twisted, you have to wonder what is to be expected from a video game.
Well, Hitman is a video game where basically you kill people. It's no different than, well, it's different than Grand Theft Auto, but this is like a spy game. In Grand Theft Auto, you can basically go around killing people, and in most of the main story missions, you kill men. This is what pisses me off about feminists when they talk about Grand Theft Auto. I mean, people like Sam Maggs, who was on the Andromeda team, she went on to the news and talked about how in Grand Theft Auto hackers could simulate rape. And dude, no. And then the video she showed was just a bunch of dudes fucking around. This is just like messing with different characters, and the person that was apparently being simulated rape was just a dude. At least it looked like. And Grand Theft Auto is a sexist game both ways. You could be a chick playing as the main dude, and you can basically, all you can do is kill men. If you're a sexist man and you're playing as the main man, you can go around and kill a woman. I mean, it does kind of give you the freedom to do that, but overall, it is not a sexist game. I mean, shut the fuck up, you pieces of shit.
Called Hitman. Plus, you're able to kill people of both genders, so it's not just a female thing.
Yeah.
And this is only one of the most blatant examples of inaccuracies. A simple Google search will bring up tons of videos picking apart her YouTube series.
Ha.
I think it's no surprise
some
that
black guy did some good ones
like
too,
this
and
happen,
Rags.
It's sure to get people mad. To be honest, this is probably one of the weaker cases against Anita, but I think it's still worth a mention. When originally starting the Kickstarter campaign, she made it seem like she was a gamer herself that wanted to take on the misogynistic ways of the industry,
Oh god.
which many thought was a noble enough pursuit, until it was realized that she had admitted on film that she was not a fan of video games herself.
What?
I play video games, so
What the hell?
it's not exactly a fandom. I'm not a fan of video games. I actually had to learn a lot about video games in the process of making them.
What the fuck? Oh wow. Okay. I think that's enough said. Anita Sarkeesian is just retarded. Ah, shit. Yeah, Anita Sarkeesian she went full-blown retard before she even started her career. She doesn't even play video games, and she has to get information by not playing them. I mean, really? What the hell is this? What has the world come to? My god, this makes me want to just turn into the Flood. Come on, Flood, come kill me. Wait, no, I don't actually want to die yet. Get away. Yeah, that was fucking stupid. This is sad. This is when you know the video game industry might actually go downhill. I don't want it to go downhill. I don't want people like Anita Sarkeesian to be getting this big of a jump start anymore. And shut up, Riley J. Dennis. Shut up, Miley Stewart. Shut up, Anita Sarkeesian. Just shut up. Jesus. Man, this is just sad. Just sad, man. I can't believe I'm late for this party. Whoops. Yeah, I'm late. I was super late for this party, man. I am not super pleased about that. Shit. Damn it. See, look, it's all those radical feminists, all those red-haired SJWs trying to kill me. No offense to actual redheads. Oh, damn. Weather looks bad out there. But anyway, let's continue with the cancer. Well, not the cancer, the informative cancer.
This gave people a lot of ammunition to rail on her points, since she didn't even like the things that she was discussing until she wanted money to make a series about it. Because of this, many have dismissed her points, even more so, because it appears that she only got into gaming to complain about it, and raise money on Kickstarter. As mentioned earlier though, this argument is kind of weak, since her not being a gamer herself doesn't necessarily make her arguments less valid. But it does make many wonder what her intentions were to make tropes versus women in video games in the first place.
Well, my main criticism of her so far, just hearing this, I'm just gonna cut it off. Good God, I already hate her. I mean, I already hate her more than I already hated her when I saw that first YouTube video about her. She's not a gamer. She's a radical feminist who basically called for riots after Donald Trump got elected. I mean, anything else? I mean, what is she? What is she also? Is she also super autistic? And in her pastime, beats gay men or something, or beats straight men into the ground, especially since Donald Trump won. I mean, what does she do? What else does she do? I mean, seriously. I just started my YouTube channel. Like, I started posting stuff on my YouTube channel a month ago, and I already have over 200 views, and I have 2 subscribers. And I did that all without going around and acting like I'm some type of radical feminist or someone who just loves being an SJW. I mean, and my videos are growing. I mean, I just did a video defending Ben Shapiro and all that stuff about Hood College and Hunter Avalone and stuff like that. I've already got like 30-something views on that. So, I mean, but I'm not that big, so if Anita Sarkeesian were to see my videos, she'd be like, oh, who the hell are you talking about me like this? I mean, it would be good if I had more followers. I could have more beef to back up my points. Oh, good God. Okay, so there's my thoughts about it. Shit, I forgot what else I was going to say. I got so caught up with Riley Dennis, and then when I went to the point about Anita Sarkeesian, I just really lost it, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But we got Shotgun now. So anyway, so that's a big one, and like I said in my earlier videos, you got people like Beck Trainer at Rooster Teeth who are retarded. I mean, I just saw Ann Hullum, who is the wife of Matt Hullum, the guy who voices Sarge in Red vs. Blue, is also the co-founder of Rooster Teeth. She retweeted something that Wendy Davis retweeted. And if you don't know who Wendy Davis is, she's a former Texas state senator who got a bunch of support around rallying against a 20-week abortion ban. Like, after 20 weeks you can do that in Texas. And she bitched about it. And then right after the hospital thing, like the whole thing that the Supreme Court for some reason put down because they were retarded idiots, was that if you were an abortion clinic in Texas, you have to have the same qualifications as a hospital. Like, it basically has to be a hospital. It can't just be an abortion clinic. Like, it has to be super nice, super clean, basically look and feel like a hospital and have all the things that a hospital has. And a bunch of people complain about it because it would have to close down a bunch of abortion clinics in Texas, but you can kind of see it's like taking them all down in one fell swoop. But it's utter asinine to think it was just for anti-abortion, but just anti-abortionists getting their way. I mean, they were still allowing people to have abortions, but they wanted it to be a hospital. So I'm not very happy with Anna Holm about that. And then you have Micah Burton, who was basically extreme feminist incarnate, and also extreme racist. Well, not extreme racist. I don't really think he's a racist, but what else should there be? Actually, no. We'll just go on to the rampant infectionism of developers and people. And Mass Effect Andromeda is a really easy one to do. And I already did a video about this, though, so I won't spend too much time on it. Basically, there's a bunch of racists in there who apparently has support from the owners and developers about it. And then Sam Maggs, who's just, oh my god, so retarded, like I stated earlier. And then we're also going to go to big feminists who aren't even gamers complaining about it, like Ashley Judd, who at the Women's March was talking about menstruating. Yeah, that's gross. I mean, what the hell? I mean, it makes me sad. But we'll go to shit. Alright, anyway, I couldn't find a good one that I wanted to do that didn't give me screeching, so we're gonna go on to this video about GamerX. Or on GamerANX. About 5 stupidest things people say about video games. One of them probably got to be a feminist thing.
Stupidest things people said about video games. Number 5. The 700 Club's Pat Robertson has said, murder committed in video games is no different than real-life murder.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's the level we're starting at. So, by this logic, I've had experiences that are no different than real life, in that
Like the
I've
Iraq
been
War?
attacked by murderous tribes of people who have been stranded on an island. I've personally stolen a lot of vehicles, and I used my smartphone and hacked the living hell out of Chicago.
Oh, hell
to
yeah.
head Chicago. And I've also been a physician, because I've played Dr. Mario. All this stuff is super equivalent to real life. So obviously Pat Robertson is definitely not saying anything stupid here. Nope, this is just one of those times where you have to remember, if you agree with Pat Robertson on anything at all, maybe it's time to reevaluate your stances on whatever anything is. Number 4, the developers of a video game called Bible Chronicles: The Call of Abraham went to Kickstarter to try to raise funds for the game. Their goal was $100,000, but they only raised 19. They said something to a writer that made him question whether or not they believed the devil was scheming against them. So he asked for clarification, and the co-founder of the company creating this game said, I believe that, 100%. His business partner added, it's very tangible. Lots of factors raining down on us like fire and brimstone. The writer interviewing them said, nobody is winking or joking. There is no irony here. This is absolutely serious. Now, I took the liberty of looking at this game a little bit, and it looks not good. So there's this thing where you kind of have to create something that looks good for people to fund it. I feel like if somebody made something like this that was of some actual quality, I, along with a lot of other people in the same position as myself, would have a lot more trouble judging it so harshly. But the fact is, the game just looks terrible. And unless Satan made it so that they have no idea how to make a decent looking video game, Satan had nothing to do with how bad this went. Number 3, the International Committee of the Red Cross said that war crimes in video games should be punished. The ICRC...
What? The Red Cross?
Which is their acronym, is concerned that certain game scenarios could lead to trivialization of serious violations of the law of armed conflict. The fear is that
it's like saying people will want to start robbing Nakatomi Tower all the time after watching Die Hard. I mean, really? The fuck are you people on? You on ICP or whatever type of drug? You on cocaine? You in Lamar Odom's cage? I mean, what are you doing with your life? I mean, what the hell? God, this is so retarded.
Eventually, such illegal acts would be perceived as acceptable behavior.
Bullshit.
It's important to note that they clarified they're not asking for censorship, but just hope games took a more realistic approach to situations that would probably get you in trouble for doing in real life, regardless of what many people consider war to be. That doesn't change the level of dumb in this statement, though. Okay, let's say in a game, you capture a terrorist and torture them for information. In real life, that causes severe international diplomatic problems. In a video game, you're typically not in a position to have any idea whatsoever what is going on the diplomatic end of things. In Battlefield, you're not on a battlefield. And pardon the double negative, Call of Duty is not called Call of Diplomatic Solutions. Certainly there are problems with war games. I'm not making any attempts to say that there's nothing culturally wrong with games that simulate and glorify the military. There's certainly tons to be explored in there by people significantly smarter than myself. But do you think that when you do something in a Call of Duty style game, you should be made to sit through a virtual military tribunal? Because
no one would buy it.
Just no. Number 2, Glenn Beck thinks Watch Dogs is creating a population of hackers. Or at least did when Watch Dogs came out. And to be fair, we all thought a lot of things about Watch Dogs that did not turn out to be true. But Glenn Beck definitely at the top of that heap. Okay,
Damn it,
so
Glenn
in
Beck.
Watch Dogs, the city is controlled by a central OS. The traffic lights, the street lights, basically all of the city systems.
Honestly, for me, I think Watch Dogs is like a really good game because it is very libertarian. I mean, you're basically rebelling against a city-wide system funded by the government that is basically spying on everybody. And it was all because one hacker did something in New York, and then Chicago was like, oh man, we gotta do something about this too. I mean, that's the whole freaking premise of the story. And to be fair, I mean, Glenn Beck, he's been kind of a douche lately. I mean, I think he's always been a douche. But I mean, still, Watch Dogs is very libertarian. You get to use a lot of weapons. You're a criminal fighting against the system, and also trying to find out who killed your niece. And you even reject help from other criminals trying to fight that same system. So, I mean, come on, son. Wow, it got really dark here. I better finish this up.
Including ones that have nothing to do with lights, are controlled by one piece of software. That, ignoring the fact that a city would never do something that stupid, if it got hacked, you'd have control over everything. That's
Which
why
is the premise of the
Aiden
story,
Pierce
though.
with his iPhone are able to do anything in this city. I'm Aiden Pierce, and while I have control over the entire city's infrastructure, I cannot access my own phone's file system. Thanks, Apple. So, ignoring the fact that Watch Dogs is utterly ridiculous for one moment, Glenn Beck is a massive blowhard. He's a fearmonger, an opportunist, and frankly, a massive zealot. The things he says should not be taken seriously, because not only are his own opinions utterly bonkers, but his own opinions don't even matter if he thinks he can incite some kind of reaction in saying things. I wonder if whatever app Aiden Pierce uses to hack has in-app purchases. Yeah, it probably does. And number one belongs to everybody's favorite idiot, Jack Thompson. I'm just gonna quote it and then we'll talk about it. Nobody shoots anybody in the face unless you're a hitman or a video gamer.
What the fuck?
Google shot in the face, and in 0.52 seconds, Google came up with a pretty fair amount of results. Now, I went through a few of the results, not all 2,050,000 of them, and I didn't really see a whole lot of video game anything. I did see a former vice president. Do you think Dick Cheney played a lot of video games? Because, he shot someone in the face. That doesn't happen, right?
Damn it.
No, Jack Thompson is a total moron, and I'm so happy he got this part. So anyway, have you ever heard anything really stupid said about video games? And this doesn't have to be by a notable figure or anything.
Alright, so anyway, yeah. So the whole point that I want to make here is that video games being invaded by leftist, culturist, fear-mongering douchebags, not like Glenn Beck, even though Glenn Beck, I do agree with him on some points, but he does have some pretty retarded views. And top that off in his dispute with Tommy Lahren, even though I don't particularly like her as much anymore, after basically disbanding one of the things that got her hired at the Blaze before she was finally suspended and then fired. As a conservative, I think a lot more gamers should be looking at video games and really capitalizing on really trying to help them out. Because, I mean, there's a lot of gamers out there who love games like Halo, like Call of Duty. You just get you get fear-mongered out of it, like the public sphere. This is happening with PewDiePie, who doesn't even really express his views unless someone is bashing him for something he didn't do, which I think is just the stupidest thing ever, and it really pisses me off. But I mean, you've seen this happen all across YouTube with the demonetization thing, and then you have people like some black guy who's been living, basically getting a good amount of revenue from YouTube, and he's a gamer and he loves video games. But because of the fact that he talks about social issues that are even remotely controversial, just get some of his videos demonetized. And you have people like Steven Crowder, who probably don't even play a lot of video games, but acknowledge that stigma. It's just saddening to see all this. It's just saddening to see all this stuff come out. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of FML. Like I said, video games are very close to my heart, and when someone who doesn't even play video games like Anita Sarkeesian is someone who isn't even that much. Oh fuck! There's someone who claims to be a nerd but is also a huge idiot like Riley Dennis, and all the other people out there who rally and support people like Miley Stewart, do not deserve to be recognized as concise people. So they can all suck it. Anyway, have a good day. Don't die from the cancer you just saw, or heard, I mean, I hope I'm not cancer. But anyway, see you on the next video. Don't die, and goodbye.